There's probably no nicer sound in the whole wide world than the sound of jingle bells. This beautiful red jingle bell wreath or the silver really sound delightful. These are nickel bells with a very, very wonderful sound. And inspired by this, we decided when we found out that they also make tiny little jingle bells. I'm using 3 sizes of jingle bells from 10 millimeter to 8 millimeter to 6 millimeter to make some little jingle bell ornaments for a Christmas tree. And these are quite easy to make. You'll need a 10-inch piece of 16-gauge wire. You'll need about 96 bells per 10-inch piece of wire. Make a small closed loop at one end. And you just string as many bells as you can, alternating the colors if you're using the blue and the green. And you fill up the wire, leaving room, by the way, for a little hook and a loop so that you can attach these together. I'll just add a green. And you should really alternate the size of the bells, too, because it really makes a very pretty, pretty wreath here. And now draw this end of the wire through the loop at the other end of the strand, like that. And with your jeweler's pliers, just twist the end into as small and as neat a jeweler's loop as possible. You want to make this really neat. And then just bend your little wreath so that it is as close to a perfect circle as possible. And you'll need a hook to hang it on the tree. An ordinary ornament hook, a little bow made out of seam binding, very inexpensive. You could use any kind of pretty ribbon. And just slide the hook right into the back of the bow, very easy. Find your little loop of wire. I like to clamp the little hook shut so that it will be secure. So I'm going to clamp it up around the ribbon and then find a good spot on your tree and hang your wreath. These are heavy, so put them on a sturdy branch. And make sure that you also just clamp the hook tight, because in a wind or in a breeze, listen to the wonderful sound that this tree makes. This would be a perfect tree for outside on your back steps or on a porch. Put it in a pretty spot where a little bit of breeze will make those bells ring. A jingle bell tree like this is a great idea. The instructions will be on the website. And today we have a really great show. Chef Hélène Coumont is here to help us make a wonderful Christmas meal, which I served at my party. And just in time for the holidays, we've added a brand new feature to our website. It's a really great way to make sending your holiday cards more fun and a whole lot easier. Stay tuned. Last year, I had a really terrific Christmas party for my friends and my family at one of my favorite tiny restaurants in New York City called Le Pain Quotidien. It's really a bakery on Madison Avenue in the 80s, and it's a beautiful space filled with lots of long antique country tables made out of pine and wooden chairs and an atmosphere that's very much like a warm and cozy country bakery. They always serve bread in great big bowls right on the tables. So for the party, I brought in some of my big Yellowware bowls and just filled the bowls with the bread that Pain Quotidien is very famous for. The raisin ficelle, the great, wonderful baguette. These are perhaps one of the best baguettes in New York City. So we have 3 big bowls. That should be enough for our 12 guests. We also had olives in Yellowware bowls, different kinds of beautiful niçoise and kalamata and green olives, each one dressed appropriately with herbs and very, very good olive oil, and a little bit of lemon and orange zest, too. Freshly ground pepper, very important for our main course. The salt, too, and not one kind of salt, but fleur de sel, sel gris, and kosher salt. And I like this very much because each salt really does have a unique character and a unique taste. You want to be sure that you have salt within easy reach of the guests. And for name tags, beautiful reindeer. These reindeer are cut out of a very, very smooth plywood, and these are $2 to $3 each from Bridgewater Scroll Works, and they will make you pretty much any shape that you would like. You can access them through our website. They make very, very pretty place cards. Now the butter, you have to have really great butter to go with that great bread. And the butter comes in these lovely little wooden baskets, and this really fragrant butter will go down the center of the table. So I think I'll place the salt right now on the table. The plates are ironstone, big white ironstone. This is from Pain Quotidien. It's a little flat plate on which our first course is going to be served. And notice on the backs of the chairs, too, we have some very nice vintage tea towels. These are towels that I've been collecting for many years, and they look really kind of cute, just tied over the backs of the chairs. And as a gift for each couple at the party, one of our very beautifully sounding red jingle bell wreaths. These little goose feather trees, they're not too heavy, so they don't obstruct the view of the guests. And I thought that it would be very nice just to have strung cranberries as garlands. So you can see you don't have to be formal for a party. It can just be as informal as you like. And now I have a little bit more work to do to finish setting the table, and then we're going to take you into the kitchen and work with Chef Hélène from Le Pain Quotidien and give you all the wonderful recipes that I served at my own party. To subscribe to Martha Stewart Living magazine, please call our 800 number.
Nature replenishes herself 4 times a year. We recommend 6. Because the fresher your Brita filter, the cleaner your water.
Do you want your parties to be really special? Try Rocher, the European speciality your guests will adore. Smooth chocolate, crunchy hazelnut, a luxurious taste sensation. It's more of a party with Rocher.
Lysol presents Facts of Life. Facts, scary things, have been known to appear in showers.
Soap scum. I'm gonna get you all clean.
Fact, a clean bathroom can quickly go to the dogs. Fact, new formula Lysol Basin Tub and Tile Cleaner removes soap scum better than scrubbing bubbles. And of course, Lysol kills germs.
Sabrina, no writing on the wall.
Fact, for every law, there's a loophole. Life demands Lysol. That's a fact.
Ziploc containers, test number 80. Sure, you can put heavy foods into your containers, but can you put over 80 pounds onto your containers? Ziploc, all you ever wanted in a container. Ziploc containers, test number 68.
Who's this?
Michael.
You bring 2 dishes to a party.
You know what? These are for you.
Which one do you leave behind?
Thank you.
Ziploc, all you ever wanted in a container.
The magic of crystal.
When I decided to have my party at Le Pain Quotidien in New York City, I asked chef owner Alain Coumont to create a simple, delicious meal. And of course he did. Alain is here to recreate some of those wonderful dishes. First, the blini, because that was our most popular course, actually, because it was topped with caviar and smoked salmon. So you cook them in these little tart
Yeah, so this is
pans?
a little Teflon tartlet mold.
Yeah.
They have a non-stick cotton. Now I'm going to preheat them in the oven at 525 degrees.
Okay, the highest
yeah.
temperature. So why don't we start with the blini batter, because I think we should show how delicious these are.
So I'm going to heat up the milk,
A
the
cup?
whole milk, yeah, 1 cup.
Hey, you're from Belgium.
Oh yes, native
Okay.
from a small town in the south of Belgium, the French-speaking part of Belgium. So I'm going to raise the temperature to about 90 to 100 degrees.
Okay, warm but not too hot for your finger.
And then I'm going to put in this bowl the fresh baker's yeast, 1 ounce. That is a half little cake that you can buy in
Yeah,
supermarket.
those are great, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice and fresh.
Just in case you cannot, find the fresh yeast, dry active yeast works as well. Okay, so I put the yeast when the milk is going to be lukewarm. So we need 2/3 of a cup of buckwheat flour.
Now, is this fine, this kind that we get at the health food store?
Yes, that's
Arrowhead? Okay.
Yeah. We call it the black wheat.
I love the flavor.
And
2
then
cups of...
the all-purpose flour, we need 2 cups.
Okay.
And let me check the...
A teaspoon of salt?
A teaspoon of salt and a tablespoon of sugar. We use the salt for the taste, and the sugar actually it's to kind of feed
food for the yeast.
Yes, the food for the yeast. Maybe you can mix all the dry ingredients together.
And so you're adding the milk to the yeast?
No, I'm going to add.
Yeah, if you make it too hot, you kill the yeast. So be very careful that the temperature of your milk is not too hot. We're going to use egg yolks. 6 egg yolks.
So the 6 egg yolks. Okay, and here I have a little bit of melted butter.
A half a cup of melted butter.
Okay, the butter has to be just melted and not too warm. Otherwise, you could kill the yeast.
And we don't want to do that because we want fluffy blini. Make a well in the dry ingredients.
Yeah. And then I'm going to pour, the mixture of lukewarm milk, the butter, yeast, and egg yolk. I'm going to use the yeast slightly.
Oh, and the magic ingredient.
Yeah, and we're going to add
beer.
one cup of beer.
Okay, nobody knows that we're going to have beer, but this is, I think, the secret Belgian wheat beer.
In New York, you can find it at Dino De Luca.
Oh, okay, because it's a very unusual beer.
It's a beer that is made with wheat instead of barley.
Okay, so now this is going to have to stand, and the yeast must activate and grow for about how long?
I would say an hour and a half. The fermentation is going to make the dough more light, create, the bubbles, and also that during the fermentation there is also a creation of flavor.
Yes.
Like in bread. So here we have 6 egg whites. We're going to use a copper bowl. So when you whip the egg white, sometimes you can add a little bit of a pinch of salt and sugar to, help them just a tiny bit.
Oh, sugar.
Yeah. So I'm not going to whip them too firm. It's just like for a souffle. If you whip them too firm, they have no more strength to rise. I think I'm going to stop here.
Oh, good. So they're very loose.
Yeah. So now I'm going to fold them very gently. Try to incorporate air in the batter.
Okay, so this is just in a warm spot, like on top of the refrigerator? Or?
Room temperature.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's much better.
But not too hot.
Now the blini batter is going to take an hour and a half to rest and to ferment.
Look how great this looks. It really has taken on its own life.
So I'm going to remove the saran wrap.
Oh, it's delicious.
And you can see really that it's,
oh, look.
a lively.
Very lively.
So now we're going to bake them.
We often make them in the Swedish pancake pan. Oh, yeah, there it is.
Yeah, we have one.
Yeah, let's show that because that's a good alternative. So if you have one of these, this would be very good. And so that should be heated also.
Yeah. So it's an operation that has to be done quite fast. Otherwise, the mold are losing temperature.
Okay. What kind of oil?
This is a plain oil, still corn oil or soybean oil.
And how much batter?
Little. It's about
so they start to cook before. Yeah, that's
about
great.
the right size. In the oven, the baking time is going to be 4 to 6 minutes. The oven should be turned at the highest temperature. Even if it's much higher, it won't hurt. So now they go back in the oven.
525 degrees.
Voilà.
Good.
And the one in the oven are
done?
About to be done.
And those are a lovely color. And while they're still hot, should we top a few and show how we serve them on your tartinière?
All right, so we are going to set 2 blinis per plate. Top one with a little slice of salmon. You can shape like a little flower, like a little rose.
I love that. That's so pretty.
A little wedge of lemon. To put a little chopped chive on the side of the plate.
And caviar.
The little side dish of crème fraîche. It is French sour cream.
Oh, well, this one's for me. And now we want one for you.
Thank you.
And isn't that a beautiful sight? And the colors are so appropriate for the holidays. And you can eat this with your fingers or with a fork and knife and really enjoy. Hélène, thank you so much for showing us this very wonderful recipe for blini.
Cheers.
On the tartinière of the Pain Quotidien.
There's nowhere else I'd rather be than sharing each other's company. Right here is where we belong together. There's nowhere else I'd rather be than sharing each other's company. Right here is where we belong.
If it's not in your kitchen, try ours. Cooking.com. Cookware, recipes, gifts.
I got a taste for cookies.
Break, break, break. Break and bake. Toll House cookies.
Like magic, Square's baking round Nestle Toll House cookies.
Break and bake. Toll House cookies.
Available in brownies, too.
Do you want your parties to be really special? Try Rocher, the European speciality your guests will adore. Smooth chocolate, crunchy hazelnut, a luxurious taste sensation. It's more of a party with Rocher.
He was a battlefield hero, one of the most decorated Green Berets in history.
I stand for integrity, devotion to duty.
Now, this colonel stands accused of murdering his wife.
What did you kill her with, Colonel? I did not kill her.
But could this American hero be the target of a plot to destroy him?
I loved her. I still love her.
Who killed the colonel's wife? An all-new 48 Hours mystery, Thursday.
More than the greatest love the world has known. This is the love that I give to you alone. I know I never lived before, and my heart is very sure no one else could love you more than the greatest love the world has known.
Friday on Martha Stewart Living.
Every year, I like to decorate the front of my house for the holidays.
Find out how to make colorful wreaths with cranberry garlands to decorate your front door.
They look so beautiful.
And cover outdoor columns with winter greenery.
Look, the column has a coat.
Then lighting designer Stefan Stefano
will share some unique ways to make your home twinkle with holiday excitement.
Learn something new. Friday on Martha Stewart Living.
Right now, our visiting chef Hélène is going to show us how to make a really delicious braised veal with winter vegetables known as a tendron de veau à la bourgeoisie. And that looks so good. So that's a whole 8-pound
veal breast.
A veal breast. So why don't you explain? You're taking off the...
Yeah, so for first operation, you make an incision on the rib here and try to, cut the little tissue and lift, the skin that is on the bone. Try to
pop out the bone. Is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah, free the bone.
Okay. So you need it completely boned breast of veal, and you want to keep it in one piece, don't you?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think that if you buy the piece of meat without the bone, you should have about 6 pounds for
this dish.
8 serving.
Now those would be nice roasted up and given to the dog.
Yeah.
Now, why do you call this a tendron de veau?
Literally in French, tendron comes from a tendre, tender. So it's tender of veal.
Okay.
When it's cooked for about 2.5 hours, it's become really soft, and you could serve it with a spoon. Right. So here we have removed the ribs. We have about 6 ribs, and then there's also here, lengthwise little pieces of cartilage that we want to remove as well. Well, it's not so easy because they are
embedded.
Yes, they are a little hidden with...
But you don't want to lose any of this lovely meat.
It's difficult to find in a restaurant because it takes so long to cook. And also, it's like a, like a cheap cut of meat.
But nobody on the night of my party felt they were eating a cheap piece of meat. Everyone loved it so much. Now, can we leave this fat or should we trim that out?
So here is a little piece of fat, but now we are going to sear the meat, so most of the excess fat is going to melt.
Do we cut this in half?
And now we're going to split the veal breast in half, 2 pieces. And then every half is going to be cut in 8 slices of 1.5 inches.
Looks good.
A sharp knife is really a must.
So make the pieces of meat equal size, as equal as can be. Okay, so you have your lovely sea salt. And now, should I do the flouring? And okay. Are we going to brown this in some oil or just?
It's just a little bit of olive oil.
Okay.
And we have to use a very strong fire.
How much? That much?
Yeah, that's enough. Here we are not looking to cook the meat. The only thing we want is to give as much coloration as possible.
Should I start?
We'll try to put the pieces flat.
Yes.
This way. I'm going to add a few drops of oil.
So this browning process takes about 4 to 5 minutes on each side.
So we did a good job.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Now we can turn off the fire and transfer the meat to the dish. I think that, remove the excess fat.
We're now just blotting the fat off the meat, any of the excess oil or fat that's been melting, and it looks extremely delicious.
So we are going to cover with half of the vegetables. And then the other half will go in 1 hour later. We have 4 carrots, 4 leeks, 4 white turnips, 1 bunch of celery, 4 onions, some garlic cloves. Here we use 8.
Should we put the bouquet garni in now?
Yes, bouquet garni also. A little bunch of fresh thyme and 2 bay leaves. Here we could, flood the dish with too much water, but we don't want to do that because it's not a boiled dish. It's really, we want to simmer it and cook it more in vegetable steam. So
about a cup?
I think it's going to be a great amount.
The whole amount?
I think it's enough.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to put it on the fire.
Oh, okay. Oh, to bring the water to a boil?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. So that really does start to...
Yeah, otherwise, if you put the dish now in the oven, it's going to take maybe 30 or 45 minutes.
Just to boil the water?
To boil. So the cooking time is not going to be accurate.
Okay, so bring that all to a boil.
So you need to use about, 12 peppercorn.
And no more salt?
I would say that you have to be careful. It's better to put too little salt and reseason at the end, but I think with the amount of vegetable we are using, I could add salt right now. So now the liquid is boiling, so I'm going to turn the fire off. Put the parchment paper. All right, so if you have no lids, using a piece of aluminum foil to really seal off the dish to keep all the steam.
That's excellent. So here's our 425-degree oven.
So first time for 1 hour.
We have one that's already been in the oven. So should we take that out?
Good
and
idea.
see what it looks like? So this has to stay in for 2 hours and 15 minutes about?
Yes.
At what temperature?
350.
Okay, but is it 425 and then you reduce it?
Yeah, to 350.
Okay.
And don't forget, after 1 hour, the first hour of cooking, we add the other half of the vegetables.
And uncovered or covered?
Covered.
Okay.
For about 45 minutes.
Oh, it looks so good. And it smells even better. What do you think?
It is wonderful. So you've seen for the last half hour of cooking, we've removed the parchment paper to reduce the juice and also give a little coloration to the vegetable.
Yes, nice. Here's a little piece of leek.
And now I'm going to place the meat and the vegetable on the serving dish.
Oh, it looks beautiful. So we're going to... Oh, yes, we can eat this with a spoon, as you said. This is like the simplest but most delicious veal stew, isn't it?
So I'm going to put one...
So you're doing it all by portion.
Yeah.
I like how you do this because everything is ready to serve per person. Just take it with a big spoon.
The meat is very tender. You have to take it very carefully so you don't break it apart. Now we're going to thicken the cooking juice with a little bit of cornstarch. So if you want to dilute the cornstarch in a little bit of cold water.
Okay. How much cornstarch?
A tablespoon.
Okay. So we're just adding any of the excess liquid that's drained from the vegetables.
So this is the time also to add a few drops of homemade red wine vinegar.
Great.
Very little. It's about a quarter of a teaspoon, just like 10 or 12 drops to bring out the taste. So I'm going to put a little spoon of sauce on every portion. You know how French like to chop parsley on everything. Beautiful.
It is so beautiful. And here you have our potatoes and garlic and braised veal, a pretty easy meal in one. And if you don't eat it at home, maybe Alain will cook this for you at his newest restaurant, Le Pain Quotidien, down in Soho. But we have one more simple salad that we also had at my Christmas party. And we'll put our cheese plate together with the salad for yet another delicious course.
With Kodak Picture Maker, I can blow this up to an 8x10. Wow, that's great. Crop in a little here, red eye out. What a cute couple. I like this guy. Oh, it's him. We've both made the same picture.
With Kodak Picture Maker, you can make great pictures even better in just 5 minutes. No negatives or experience necessary. Call for the Kodak Picture Maker nearest you.
Be merry. Make it a diamond Christmas for her with great holiday diamond gifts from Boscov's. Only $4.99 for this stunning 1-carat diamond heart pendant set in 14-karat white gold. Or 1-carat beautiful diamond cocktail ring set in 14-karat gold, $4.99. From Lorenzo handbags and Boscov's, fabulous leathers, Italian lambskin, and more, $19.99. Microfiber and vinyls, $9.99. At Boscov's, be merry.
Now, even in the middle of winter, I can grow fresh herbs indoors with my Chia Herb Garden. The Chia Herb Garden growing kit contains everything I need. And what I like best is this natural chia growing sponge. No more messy potting soil. It holds just the right amount of air and moisture to help my herbs grow nice and healthy. Chia Herb Garden, the perfect gift. I bought one for my mother, my friend, my neighbor, and myself.
Available at Ames, Eckerd, Farmore, and Rite Aid.
We bought our hot tub at a discount store.
We got a great deal on the floor mop.
Sure, it's got a few dings, but who notices, right?
Why settle for a hot tub when you could have a thermo spa with granite storage cabinets, custom steps, and even a heated towel warmer compartment? Call now for our free video and color catalog that shows you how you can buy factory direct. By the way, thermo spas accept trade-ins. Just call 1-800-934-8484, and we'll include a $400 gift coupon.
Start the holiday season on the right note with the Pittsburgh Holiday Pops Concert, presented by Ruth's Chris Steakhouse December 13th through 17th at Heinz Hall. It's a Pittsburgh tradition your whole family will enjoy, with sing-alongs, magical surprises, and holiday classics like Silent Night, Joy to the World, and more. Share the spirit of the season at the Pittsburgh Pops Holiday Concert, December 13th through 17th, sponsored by Mellon Bank. For tickets, call 412-392-4900 or order online at pittsburghsymphony.org.
Today's Martha Stewart Living is brought to you by Clorox and by Cooking.com. Closed captioning has been made possible by the following sponsor.
When you have a plumbing problem, it affects the whole family. Take care of it quicker with Mr. Rooter.
You and I both know that I am one step away from salad dressing. Give a headache.
Looking for the perfect little gift? Give Celebrations.
After a dish like the tendron de veau, it's really nice to serve a very simple salad and, of course, a delicious cheese. December is a great month for the Vacherin cheese from France. and it's imported primarily in December. It's ripe and beautiful, and don't you think it's just a great thing?
It's a perfect cheese for the winter months. Huh?
It is. So Ellen is going to make us a endive watercress salad with a simple lemony dressing. Why don't you just tell us what you're doing?
Okay, so we separate the leaves from the endive, put them in a dish. It's, as you say, it was a very simple salad. So.
Fresh, crispy watercress. You know, I love watercress, and I don't think people are using it as much as they should. You know, arugula became the more popular green.
Yeah, well, I think that it's going to come back one day.
You do? I think it's never left my house. I really love watercress. This is a beautiful green. If you haven't had watercress recently, it is really kind of spicy and delicious and not as strong as arugula. Now, dressing is just lemon juice?
Just one lemon juice.
Okay.
Should be enough. And then...
And your favorite Tunisian olive oil. Now, to the juice of one lemon, about how much olive oil?
About 4 tablespoons. Keep it light because after there is, you know, the cheese and the dessert. So, that's it. Now a bit of salt and freshly ground pepper.
So just lemon and oil and salt and pepper. What could be easier than that? Let me take a little taste.
Okay, that's it. So that's operation to be done really at the last minute.
Wonderful.
So it's stay crisp and doesn't become soggy.
That's a very nice olive oil.
I like the taste.
You said it's pressed through some sort of herby mat?
Yeah, it's this oil is from Tunisia, and over there they don't use plastics. They use, you know, little weeds that grows in the mountain there, and they make little mats. And then when they squeeze the olive paste, the weeds give a little flavor to the oil, just like, you know, the oak barrel give the taste to the wine.
Exactly. That tastes very good. And then we're going to turn out our cheese onto a board right there, and you'll spoon it out onto our delicious pain quotidien bread. And this is what the bread looks like toasted. Give me a little piece.
The first wedge is always the hardest one to remove. The vacherin come from the Jura region.
It is good. Needs to be at room temperature. It's, can you have a little piece? Yes. This is a great party.
It smells so good.
Thank you very much for preparing it again. I look forward to your new restaurant, and when you're in New York, please look up the Pain Quotidien, either uptown or downtown. There's 3 of them. Great. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Oh.
They call this a dusting?
Maybe you should just stay inside.
The Fireplace and Patio Place. We have everything you need to stay warm and cozy all winter long, including gas logs and glass doors. Come see our selection of holiday gifts.
Did you know that children are more willing to eat foods they help prepare? I'm Judy Dodd, Giant Eagle Food Nutrition Advisor. Children learn nutrition responsibility when they make their own healthy snacks, like sandwiches. Start with whole grain bread for added fiber, add meats for protein, cheese for bone-building calcium, the crunch and vitamins of vegetables, and salsa or mustard as a finishing touch. A sandwich, it's healthy eating. It takes a giant to make good nutrition simple, for kids' sake.
Shall we dance, boom, 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 on a bright cloud of music shall we fly? I'm as restless as a willow in a windstorm. I'm gonna wash...
Not bad, Santa, but may we suggest a more professional performance of everybody's favorite show tunes? This holiday season, the Pittsburgh Public Theater presents A Grand Night for Singing, featuring the songs of Rodgers and Hammerstein, December 16th through the 30th at the O'Reilly Theater. For tickets, call 316-1600.
The holidays. Value City special prices make the difference. Gladden her heart with beautiful jewelry she'd wish for, but would never expect. Imagine quarter-carat diamond jewelry for under $100. And listen to this, gold hoops for only $19.99 and $49.99 each. You can afford to bring more joy to the world. and that'll make you happy too. At Value City, hey, it's your money. Get more for it.
At Martha Stewart, we're always trying to think of ways to make things better. Better for you, easier and more fun too. Now, just in time for the holidays, we've added a brand new feature to our website on marthastewart.com. Now you can choose your favorite cards with imagery from the pages of Martha Stewart Living. You can choose your own greeting, you can customize it, and you can also create your own cards using your own photography. It's a really great way to make sending your holiday cards more fun and a whole lot easier. Michael Gutkowski, one of our web specialists, designed this great new feature for us, and he's here today to explain it really clearly because that's what he could do.
Great.
I'm really excited about the cards, Michael.
Here on marthastewart.com, on the homepage, you'll see Martha's Cards here on the right-hand side.
And that's the name of this new fabulous service, Martha's Cards.
In order to use the service, we ask that you register at marthastewart.com. If you haven't registered, that takes just a few moments. So I'll click on the link to Martha's Cards, and for first-time users, we're offering their first card free, including postage.
Oh, good.
To help them get started. So we're going to just click on this Start a Card link and look at the different categories that we have to offer. Currently, we are offering cards that fit in season's greetings, Hanukkah, Christmas, New Year's, and holiday invitations. And shortly, we'll be adding Valentine's Day, birthdays, and a host of other categories.
Mother's Day, Father's Day. It's going to be a lot of fun.
So I'd like to show you how to send one of the cards. I'm clicking on the Season's Greetings link. So if you look here, there are thumbnail photographs of each and every greeting card that we offer. If I want, I can scroll through and look at the larger version of these pictures, but I really like this one, and I'd like to send this one to my friend Scott. So all I need to do is click on the Select button.
So you can do one card at a time or multiple cards at a time.
Exactly. So now I have a number of choices. I can either have the cards sent directly to me with blank envelopes and no stamps so that I can fill them out all by myself, or I can have them sent to me pre-stamped and pre-addressed. I can send them directly to my friends and family. Another great feature, Martha, is that you can send them directly to your recipients at a later date. So for birthdays, for example, you can go in and you can enter all of your information and have the card sent out.
So if you're working on your computer and you have like a rainy day, you can just do all your cards for the coming year, and you can rest assured that Martha's Cards is going to send out your cards with no forgetfulness at all, no mistakes.
Exactly.
How nice.
You can also get email reminders if you would like to be reminded, and then you can go and order them as well. So now I'm going to send this directly to my friend Scott, and the next step is to click on the button here where I look for Scott's address. Now you can do a number of things. You can either type in the address individually, or you can do what I did, and I uploaded my address book from my computer, which saves so much time.
So you gave Martha's Cards all your addresses?
I gave it all of my addresses, and you can then delete addresses that you don't want to have in the system. So I'm going to select right here where it says Select Names from my address book. And I want to send it to Scott. So all I do is select the button next to Scott. And
Scott Peters?
Correct. And then it'll show me the salutation that will be inside the card if I decide to put a personal message, and also the way I want to address the outside of the envelope.
Okay.
Then I just click the Continue button. So now you see Scott and Sarah appearing here in step 2. So you just select the Done button. Now I get to pick a stamp. If you click the Change Style button, you'll see the stamp changes to different styles. That's sort of a fun one, isn't it? I like the reindeer.
Yeah, beautiful.
So let's use the reindeer as our stamp for this card.
So in the blank card, this is the beautiful little Pinecone Village. It will say, Dear Sarah and Scott, and then you will create your own greeting?
Exactly.
Okay.
You can select different typefaces.
That's pretty.
Do you like that one?
Well, I'll keep going because I think...
Felt tip Roman.
Keep going.
Okay.
Does it come in brown?
It comes in black, blue, maroon, and green.
Oh, okay. So let's do black.
Okay.
This is your card, and here I am telling you.
Please.
You can have any color you want for your friends.
That's great. The next thing we do is we add our family signature at the end. So I'm just going to type in Love, Tracy, and Michael. Now we can actually write the little note that we had talked about. So all I would do is type
Now,
in...
where's the little note going to appear?
It's going to appear up here on the top.
On the top
On the
or
top.
on the left-hand side of the card.
Yes,
Okay, that's
correct.
nice.
If you leave the season's greeting blank, then you can have the message appear on the bottom of the card.
Okay.
So I would just write a little message to them, and as I'm typing it, it would
This is actually a lot more fun than sitting there writing all of this.
And it has a real personal feel to it. So, dear Sarah and Scott, see you soon. So now we're ready to send the card. So all we have to do is click the send button. Here's my card ready to be mailed. It'll be folded 5 by 7. Here's the little message, see you soon, season's greetings, and it verifies that, yes, I want it sent directly to my recipient. And then enter my credit card and billing address, and this is the card.
Great. Now to send this beautiful card with your personal greeting and your lovely message in a very nice white envelope with a real stamp, how much per card?
Individual cards are $3 plus postage. If you order quantities, the price reduces to $1.50 per card.
What a bargain, really.
Yeah.
Because that's including the 33-cent stamp, including all the work that it takes to insert the card into the envelope and stamp it and address it. I think that's fantastic. And we even lick the envelope for you. So that is terrific. Yeah, I just can't wait. I'm going to do this whole thing myself next week for all my cards. This will certainly be a time saver and an elegant way to send your cards.
Absolutely.
Thanks a lot, Michael.
Thank you.
If you're a Western Pennsylvanian under age 65 without group health insurance, we're here for life. For as little as $140 a month, qualified individuals can get all the protection of an HMO plan, usually available only through employer group coverage. With this plan, called Keystone Blue Individual HMO, all authorized hospital stays are paid in full. Primary care physician visits cost just $10. Most referred specialist visits cost just $15. And you're also covered for prescription drugs. Plus, you'll have access to the area's largest network of doctors and hospitals. Call now for free information to see if you qualify for this HMO plan. Backed by Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield and provided by Keystone Health Plan West.
Call 1-800-556-2992. There's no obligation. Call now.
I'm Velma.
I'm Thelma, and that's Ed.
And before Ed had his cataracts removed, we had a lot more fun on Friday night.
That's right. He couldn't see to tell us apart, but now that's all changed.
I'm Selma. Now that Ed can see, he's with me. Come on, Ed. Let's ignore those two.
Call the Cataract and Laser Institute of Pennsylvania at 681-8505 and see what or who you've been missing.
Ed, you got a new car.
You want it, we got it. It's that time of year. You want it, we got it. Parkway Santa Mall is here.
Play Scratch for Cash $1 Million game Monday through Thursday. You could win $500 instantly. Shop Sims, Dress Barn, and other participating stores. Only one per mall visit. No purchases necessary.
You want it, we got it.
Parkway Center Mall, I-279, exits 5 or 4.
This Wednesday and Thursday at Sears, beat the weekend crowds and get stylish savings all over the store. All separates, pan sets, and party dresses are 20 to 33% off. And this dazzling ruby and diamond heart pendant is just $79.99 with gift box and chocolates, a 60% savings. It's all at Sears, Wednesday and Thursday only. This is no time to fool around. Sears, give the good life at a great price, guaranteed.
Around the holidays, a lot of holly appears because it really is indicative of the holiday season and because it's real pretty. And it's a little prickly, so when you're working with it, just be careful of your fingertips. These holly wreaths are simply made out of holly leaves and a little bit of lightweight floral wire. This is like a 24-gauge wire that's on a paddle. Cut a length of wire that's a little bit longer than the circumference of the dish that you want to make a wreath for. Cut your holly leaves with a little bit of stem, if possible, still attached. Cut them right off the branch of holly. This is a hybrid green, and there's a beautiful silver variegated holly. Holly berries, too, are very pretty, but I wouldn't mix them up with any food because they are not edible. So you want to keep the holly berries away from your guests. take a leaf like this and just make it into a garland by wrapping the wire around the stem of the holly, just like that. You can see the wire down the backs of the leaves. And then join one end of the wire to the other, and you have a very pretty little holly wreath. We took a trip to the Teufel family farm in Oregon to see how a fourth-generation holly farmer grows and harvests this very special plant. The holly tree, with its shiny leaves and red berries, has long held a place of honor in winter celebrations. Medieval monks believed that it kept evil spirits away. In Germany, holly was regarded as a charm against lightning. And early Romans decked their halls with sacred holly to celebrate the midwinter feast of Saturnalia. Today it is a symbol of Christmas and one of the season's most popular evergreens. The Pacific Northwest is America's leading producer of cut holly. Larry Teufel is a fourth-generation holly grower.
Gustav Teufel, my great-grandfather, started growing holly in Oregon in about the early 1920s. He came to this country in 1890 as a landscape gardener from Germany and started gardening in homes around Portland and planted trees in his yard and then larger orchards on commercial ground in West Hills of Portland. We currently have about 500 acres of orchard around Oregon, mostly in Northwest Oregon, and we harvest holly off that every year and ship it to customers all over the country.
There are more than 400 species of holly worldwide. The Teufels grow English holly, which is known as Ilex aquifolium.
We have primarily two different varieties on the orchards, the Teufels green and then the Teufel silver variegated. These varieties were selected for the bright red berries and deep green leaves. Every berry is the result of a pollinated flower. It takes one male tree per acre of female trees to provide the pollen for the honeybees to pollinate the flower on the holly for it to have berries.
The holly in the Teufels orchard gets its start in the greenhouse and thrives in the Pacific Northwest climate, similar to its native England. A lush, full-grown holly tree produces 50 to 100 pounds of cut holly every 2 years. The harvest begins in early November and typically lasts 1 month. Each branch is hand-selected and cut with careful attention paid to the berries.
The berries are relatively firm, but they're also just like a fruit, an apple or a pear, where they can be bruised. So you have to be real careful how you handle the holly. It has to be handled by the stems, and it has to be placed in a relatively soft surface. It's placed in a nylon bag that's held open by a frame, and we take every precaution we possibly can to keep it from bruising the berries.
A day's work will yield 400 to 500 pounds of cut holly. The orchard produces 500,000 pounds per season. Once the holly leaves the orchard, the branches are separated and cleaned.
Our current washing and treating system was developed in 1980 after Mount St. Helens erupted and left a nice dusting of volcanic ash on the holly, a large vat of water with a soap solution. It worked so well in 1980 that we're still using it today.
After the holly is washed, it is separated according to the size of the branch and the amount of berries attached.
This is a standard 10-pound carton of holly. That's how most of the holly is shipped and then passed on to the retail florists.
It's more than cut holly that makes this business so successful. The Teufel family is known also for its beautifully handcrafted wreaths.
They've been making wreaths in this building since the 1920s or 30s. There's a sign up here on the wall that's written in my grandmother's handwriting that has the piecework rates from back then. And for a 12-inch holly wreath, the rate then was 5 cents.
Larry's techniques are uncomplicated. The secret is to use good holly.
The preparation of the material is probably one of the most important things. It takes quite a bit of work cutting off the small sprigs and branches. We start with holly that has no berries on it. Real holly berries have a very short shelf life. We've been using a real good quality artificial berry. They're placed around the wreath at odd intervals, usually 5 per wreath, and they're put in by hand. Once you have a small spray that looks about the shape you like assembled, then we wrap it with a wire. You can make them either clockwise or counterclockwise, whatever your preference is. That's what's nice about a wreath, is you can make it any way you like.
These wreaths have graced many doorways, including the White House. In the language of flowers, holly is a symbol of domestic happiness. Fresh holly in any home certainly adds to the magic of this very special season. Don't forget, there's lots more information about our show on our website.
Great gifts at a furniture store? At Value City Furniture there are.
Choose from a huge assortment of curio cabinets starting at just $99.
Or add style to any room with this lovely tapestry armchair, only $99.
Pay just $29 for a great-looking marble plant stand.
And accent any desk or table with a retro-style rocket lamp, only $19.
Great gifts at tremendous savings and beautiful furnishings for every room in your home. Right now at Value City Furniture.
You just can't do any better.
Give the gift of life this holiday season. Call Central Blood Bank at 1-800-310-9551. Join the home teams to help save a life.
The new Toyota Prius runs 90% cleaner than most other vehicles. Obviously, nature approves.
From the shores of merry old England to the Grove City outlets comes the new Elephant and Castle restaurant, pub and inn. Known the world over for heartwarming comfort foods from Britain, favourite American dishes and an international selection of beers and ales. The Elephant and Castle restaurant, pub and inn is known locally as the best place for lunch or dinner and as a wonderful place to stay when shopping at the Grove City outlets. Enjoy authentic English hospitality at the Elephant and Castle restaurant, pub and inn.
Throughout the world, when a hostage must be found, they call Terry Thorne.
You know I do this for a living, man.
Your husband isn't dead. He's alive.
I'm not a part of this, all right?
If we could pull this off, this is the stuff of legends. Meg Ryan.
You told me my husband was coming home.
Russell Crowe.
Keep going down the path!
Critics are calling Proof of Life a top-drawer adventure thriller. Proof of Life, rated R, starts this Friday.
Looking for the one day to do most of your holiday shopping? But which one? The Kohl's one-day sale this Wednesday only, 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Plus, save even more with early bird specials from 7 to 11 a.m. only. Like Mrs. Crofton Barrow Cashmere sweaters, just $39.99. Take an extra 15% off all watches, already 25 to 50% off. And get an extra 15% off 14-karat gold chains and bracelets, already 55% off. The Kohl's one-day sale this Wednesday only. That's more like it.
Make your baby's first birthday extra special. Send us a photo, then watch for it on TV First Birthdays on KDK TV News this morning.
Martha Stewart Living is brought to you in part by the following sponsors.
Your Good Neighbor pharmacist helps you to be well and well-informed. Choose Vicks NyQuil or DayQuil, liquid or liquid caps, for multi-symptom cold and flu relief.
Wait here, let's feel this. New Blistex Complete Moisture. The only lip balm with moisture inside. Wow! New Blistex Complete Moisture.
This portion of Martha Stewart Living is brought to you by L'Oreal.
A tree covered with pears and apples and oranges and pomegranates and persimmons. Well, it's an unusual tree. The ornaments look real, but indeed they're made of styrofoam and they're painted to look like the real thing. These are millinery fruits that we have decorated with glue and glitter. And the ornaments are really kind of simple to make. You can find fruits like these in millinery supply stores, in the flower markets in various cities. I think originally they were made out of paper mache. That's what some of my old, beautiful millinery fruits are made out of. But these work so well. It's really very easy to enhance these fruits with glitter so that they'll look like this. Create a rack for yourself. You can use a laundry rack or just a dowel like this suspended between two containers full of oatmeal. Have yourself also a piece of Oasis or styrofoam so that you can easily stand up the glittered fruits. Tangerines come already with a wire in them. They're so pretty. You'll need some glue, and this is just an ordinary Sobo glue. You can thin it out a little bit with water just to make it a consistency kind of like paint. And we want to add a little bit of iridescent bright gold color to this white glue so that it looks a little less obvious on the fruit. Stir that in. Doing projects like this, you might get a little bit sloppy, so it's a good idea to have newspaper or brown craft paper covering your work surface. Okay, so this is mixing in a little bit. And I find that these little sponge brushes are really very easy to use. These are foam brushes available at all paint stores, all hardware stores. And just apply a little bit of this glue. You don't have to do the whole fruit. You can miss a little bit. And just a little glue here and there. And then I'm using a plastic spoon. This is fine glass glitter, and it is made out of very finely ground glass, and a little bit coarser glitter. This fine glitter is wonderful on a small fruit like a tangerine. And just spoon over and let it dry completely. Drying time is roughly 20 to 30 minutes. If you're using a fruit like this that doesn't have a wire, you can cut a piece of wire. This is a little bit heavy gauge wire, about 16 gauge, and you can just stick this right into the styrofoam and make this into a hook. This will be an easy way to hang it onto the tree. And the same process, just exactly. Coat your fruit. And you can use a combination of the finer glass glitter and the little bit slightly coarser glass glitter. These glitters are very beautiful. On bigger fruits, you'll want to hang them on your dowel, and again, until they dry completely. To hang them on the tree, use a little bit of pretty ribbon. So cut yourself a length of ribbon that'll make a nice loop like this. You can tie a little knot right at the base of the two pieces, like that. And you can slide this. Remember to let the fruits dry completely before you apply the ribbon. You can use a plier if you like and just make a little loop. Cut this off with a wire snip. And there you have the perfect ornament for the millinery fruit tree. If the stem isn't long enough to tie a ribbon on, a small bit of wire or an ornament hook can be used. And I find that these floral pins can be inserted right into the styrofoam, and they make a very nice, secure anchor for a millinery styrofoam ornament. And the grapes are beautiful. Just lightly glitter the ends of the grapes, and you'll have a wonderful, luxurious-looking cluster hanging on your tree. This is just another way to decorate your Christmas tree. Have fun.
Thursday on Martha Stewart Living, Martha shows you how to create homemade gifts and recipes that are perfect for the holidays. Find out how to make warm and cozy polar fleece hats. Then Martha's recipe for
another really good basic cookie.
A rich and buttery shortbread cookie of the week. Plus,
we're going to show you a unique way to display cactus.
Learn something new. Thursday on Martha Stewart Living.